This week, several of the major British supermarkets have announced that wearing masks will be compulsory in store, and they're going to enforce it, a move which is bound to cause childish histrionics from the anti-everything brigade. But I'm now on my way to the shops so we can see how strictly the rules are being enforced. That's a total bloody lie. I've already been to the shops, I'm now on my way home, but through the magic of editing, I will now enter the supermarket. So I'm in the supermarket, and for the first time ever, there's 100% compliance. People are either wearing a mask or carrying an exemption card. It's about fucking time. So that's the shopping done. We'll continue this at the nature reserve. And as if by magic, here I am. Hopefully this will be the last video I make about masks and restrictions and rules, because firstly, the conspiracy theorists are all but done. They're being laughed off of social media. And secondly, it's not just the supermarkets cracking down. Now the British police are. They pointed out we've had 10 months to get used to the rules. There are no excuses anymore. And don't get me wrong, I'm sick to death of all the restrictions and the endless lockdowns. I'm lucky that I live near this beautiful nature reserve, but I've seen it every fucking day since March. I'm just tired of it. I'd love to go out for a night, to go to a pub and watch a live band. I'd even pay to see a punk band at the minute, but we can't do that yet. Of course, there are some people who are exempt from wearing a mask due to genuine medical reasons, and most of these people wear a lanyard to inform the rest of us. Yet some people complained, saying they didn't want other people knowing their personal details. Well, we don't know your personal details. The lanyard just informs the rest of us that you're not a cunt. And it stops people from me from shouting, "You're a cunt." Because when we've seen the pictures of nurses with bruised faces from doing 12-hour shifts wearing their N95 masks, I think, is it that much of a hardship? Of course it isn't. So what we'll do is look at some of the reasons that people who are quite capable of wearing either a face mask or a clear face shield, yet claim to be exempt, say, and then come up with a rational response. I can't wear a face mask because I've got asthma. I have to use my inhaler 2 or 3 times a year. I've got mild asthma and I have no issue wearing a face mask, a face shield, or even a respirator for 10 to 12 hours a day. I also know people who've got brittle asthma and even COPD who have no issue with wearing a face mask. It just feels a bit strange, but it doesn't restrict the airflow. And if it's that much of a big deal, then why not wear a clear face shield? I can't wear a face mask because it gives me anxiety. Anxiety is a terrible thing. But if having a piece of fabric touch your nose is enough to bring about a debilitating anxiety attack, what the fuck are you doing wandering around in a global pandemic? My friend is deaf and they rely on me for lip reading. Then buy a clear face shield. Problem solved. Or wear a mask, and if the deaf person wants your attention, they can tap you on the shoulder and you can take the mask to one side to talk to them. How much have you got to rattle about in fucking Tesco's? Why bother wearing a mask? They're not 100% effective. Do you wear shoes? Because they're not 100% effective either. You can put your shoes on and step in a puddle and your feet still get wet. Do you wear a seatbelt in the car? Because that's not guaranteed to save your life. It's about reducing the risk. I don't wear a mask because I refuse to live in fear. No, you live in ignorance. You conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat wearing, University of YouTube, Facebook doctor, ignorant, selfish fucktard. The main purpose of a mask is to protect others, and selfish, arrogant wankers like this won't do that. So I'm glad that the supermarkets are bringing in tougher restrictions and that the police are starting to fine people. And it's not because I like living like this, I hate it. But I want some sort of normality back by the end of the year. And I'm sure you do too. Then maybe I could record a video walking along the seafront or in a different country. Anywhere rather than being half a mile from my fucking house. Disgruntled Towers is just over there. My apologies that this video was a bit of a boring rant. I'll try and find something stranger than news to ridicule later in the week. As ever, thanks for watching. For me, I have no issue when it comes to... I've just stood in fucking dog shit.